rest day. Let's see. We were 80% on track for the week, which isn't our absolute best week. Obviously, we've done much better than being 80% on track in previous weeks, but it didn't kill us. It didn't kill our gains. It didn't stop us from losing. We were still able to do what we needed to do. Now, why were we 80% on track? Well, I talked about this before. On Friday, I went to Chewy's restaurant, or maybe it was Saturday. Anyway, Friday or Saturday, I went to Chewy's restaurant with my friends, and I ate the Elvis Presley Memorial Combo and went over on calories that day by like 500 calories, something like that, which threw us off. We just wasn't 100% on point for the week, which is fine because we can't be on point every single week. And I know we had our refeed just not too long ago, and that's something that we planned and we wanted to do, and so on and so forth. And this was more of a slip up than anything because even though I said I was going to go out and have the food and all that, I did not realize that I was going to go over on calories. I didn't mean to go over on calories that day, and I did. And it's okay because we got to live, right? And it was a great time. Got to go out to eat with some great friends, and I don't regret any of it at all. But I'm telling you this so that you understand that you're not going to lose gains from one day of not being consistent. It's day after day of not being consistent, right? If you're consistent day after day, you can have one day of not being consistent and be fine. So it's about what you do overall, not what you do in the moment, if that makes sense. Now, every single day can't be, I'm in the moment, I'm going to go to Chewy's, I'm going to go to Chili's, I'm going to go to Taco Bell, I'm going to go to McDonald's. Like every single day can't be that. But one meal, one day, not gonna hurt you. So anyway, let's talk about our progress this week because we did have some pretty amazing progress this week. One big thing is that we are 202.5 pounds. Lowest I've been, I don't know, maybe since high school at this point. But 202.5 pounds, and I am still hovering at 14% body fat. When I did my body fat percentage, it said I was 14.7% body fat, and then later in the day I did it again. It said I was 14.0% body fat. But it's important to understand that these body fat monitors, especially the ones that are handheld, that have 2 sensors on them, they're not perfect. And it's okay that they're not perfect. You don't need them to be perfect because what you're looking for is the trend that they provide you, not everyday perfect calculation of what your body fat is. You're looking for the downward trend of body fat, and we definitely see the downward trend. So we have lost 14.5 pounds total in this 3-month cycle, and we have 4 weeks to go. So it looks like if we keep losing weight, right now this week we were at 1.6 pounds per week weight loss, but really I think it's averaging out to be more 1.5 because they had 1 week that was 1.3, one that was 1.5, one that was 1.6, so on and so forth, right? So if we average it out across the board, we're at 1.5 pounds of body weight per week that we're losing right now, which is perfect. That's where we want to be. We want a little bit more aggressive weight loss is what I'm looking for, but not a full 2 pound weight loss and not a 1 pound weight loss either, because I'm ready to be done with this cut. I've been cutting for over a year now, and I'm just ready to get it done. So, you know, I am being a little bit more aggressive. But there were times within this yearly cut where I was losing 2 to 3 pounds per body fat per week. And the reason I was able to do that is because I was just so much heavier and bigger that just moving around took so much more energy for me that my body just metabolized more fat because of my physical size, right? And as my size has decreased, the amount of body fat that I lose in accordance with my calorie deficit and my exercise has decreased. So if I was in the same deficit I am now, doing the same amount of exercise I am now, but I was 40 pounds heavier, I'd be losing probably 2 pounds a week right now, right? Because I'm simply heavier and my body has to work harder throughout the day. So that's one of the reasons you see the trend there, where it is. So just something to think about. Now, I want to talk to you guys today about the program. I'm going to go ahead and give y'all the third cycle of the program. I have that written out, and I figured this is a good enough day as any to talk about it. So we'll talk about that. As always, you can go to the link tree in the comments. I will actually put the link to it in the description of this video. It's also going to have all of the cycles on my link tree, so you can go to my link tree there and go through the cycles. And it's 4 cycles altogether. Right now we have 3. This is the third. This is the introduction of the third cycle, and then the 4th we will introduce as time moves forward. So, all right. So for this cycle, the big thing here is that you are over you're half a year into it right now. You've had 2 3-month cycles. The first was just to introduce you back to exercise, get you through the delayed onset muscle soreness, and get you used to exercising again. And now that you've done that, you went through the second cycle, and the second cycle is just to increase the exercise a little bit more and allow you to start putting out a little bit more effort than you were that first cycle. And also we can raise our calories just a little bit more because it allows us to eat a little bit more because of how we're doing it. Now, with this, the diet is very aggressive, right? And the reason the diet is very aggressive, especially with the first cycle, is because that first cycle was there to teach you how to eat, right? You needed to learn how to eat high density foods that are lower in calorie, or high volume foods that are lower in calorie, right? So that was the whole point of the extremely low calories in the first cycle, was because it forces you to learn how to eat high volume foods in a low calorie deficit. And now that you are there, you were able to increase that in the second, those calories in the second cycle. So in this cycle, let me find it here. Nutrition. Okay, so this cycle, we're going to keep our calories at the same as we had in the last cycle, right? And we're going to do that because should be a good place for you to be cutting a little bit more aggressively, and to be able to increase your volume of foods, and also make sure that you're hitting your protein, right? And The big thing here is just make sure you're using a food scale. Make sure you're logging every single thing that you eat in an app. And if you want to know the app of choice for me, it is Stupid Simple Macro Tracker. I would suggest you download that. And the reason I suggest that is because you pay a one-time fee and you own it for a lifetime. And there's no monthly fees associated with it after that. So that's why I like it. You know, you might like something different, and that's fine. If you want to use it, or MyFitnessPal, or whatever it is that you want to use it, right? You want to write it down with a pen and a piece of paper, do it old school, that's fine too. But make sure you're counting your calories, you're tracking your protein, and you're hitting your protein goal and your calorie goal. Now, as we move on into this, we'll talk about hydration, because at this point, hydration becomes really important, because we're going to ramp up our exercises again. We're going to ramp up the intensity of the exercises and the amount of the exercises. So you have to make sure you are hydrating very, very well. So you need at least 140 ounces of water every single day with 2 Propel packs per 80 ounces of water. And that will give you the electrolytes and the water that you need. The electrolytes are important because it's going to allow your body to actually absorb the water and not just pass it through your body. So make sure you're putting the electrolytes in, because you're sweating those out as you work out, and you need to replace those because if you don't replace those, our body has a hard time absorbing the water, right? Because that's all salt dependent. I don't know, I'm sure most of you have had a science class, and you know that, you know, your cells will take in a certain amount of salt, which will make them take in water, and that will cause a better hydration marker than simply the cell trying to take in water without the salt to counterbalance it. The salt kind of pushes the water into the cell or pushes the water out of the cell, depending on what the needs are, right? Your body's very smart. It knows how to deal with it, but we just have to make sure that both things are there. Electrolytes, salt, and water. And when I say electrolytes, salt is electrolytes. I mean, it's essentially what electrolytes are. They're just basically salt. So now, you're taking your protein powder, you're taking your creatine every day. Make sure you're taking your multivitamins every day. This is where you would want 2 packs of multivitamins of the animal pack multivitamin. You would want a multivitamin when you wake up in the morning, and you'd want a pack of multivitamins when you go to bed. And the reason you would want that is because whenever you wake up in the morning, having the multivitamins in you provides you with everything that your body needs to be able to function properly throughout the day, especially while you're cutting. In case you're not getting certain nutrients that you need while you're cutting, you get those from multivitamins, right? So the multivitamins just is a security blanket to make sure that we're getting the nutrients that we need so that we can build the muscle that we're looking to build. Because without providing our body with the nutrients it needs, it's just not going to be able to perform the function you're looking for it to perform, which is hypertrophy, right? So if we want to perform hypertrophy, we have to have all the necessary nutrients for your body to utilize and build muscle. It's that simple. So night when you're sleeping, right, that's whenever your body does the most recovery, needs the most nutrients. So having some multivitamins prior to bed, sometime in between dinner and bed, and then as soon as you wake up in the morning, that way you have the nutrients just throughout the day as you're functioning throughout the day. So make sure you're taking both of your packs of multivitamins. And then HMB is good, especially if this is your first starting back in a journey or you're first starting out on a journey, because it has been shown to have increase in muscle mass for folks who are newbies, right? After you become intermediate to advanced, it really is not that helpful anymore. So you would want to discontinue the use of it after a year to 2 years. But in the beginning, research has shown that it does provide some benefits. And it's what it's all about, optimization, right? If we can take something that provides some benefits, we might as well do that. So let's talk about the program, all right? So this new program that we're going to be on is going to be a traditional push-pull leg program, okay? We did a full body split program. That's the first thing that we did, which is a great program for anybody who's new to lifting. So if you're new to lifting, the full body program is great. You should jump on it and do it. Now, if you've been lifting for a while, it's good to transition into something other than the full body program, unless you don't have a lot of time. Now, if you only have 3 days a week to work out, you can get absolutely jacked and ripped utilizing the full body workout 3 days a week consistently over a long period of time. But if you want to see more gains, right, it's good to start individualizing and prioritizing. So we did that with the next workout when we did the traditional bro split, right, which we did a different body part every day of the week. And that is excellent for muscle prioritization, so that you're prioritizing the muscle that you're going in to hit when you go in and hit it. Stupid fly. I don't know why the hell there's a fly in the middle of winter anyway. But anyway, so you're prioritizing the muscles that you're going to hit, right? And so that's what the second program made us do, taught us to do. Now, push-pull legs is going to allow us to take this a little bit further, right? Because research shows that prioritization is super important, but also if you can hit a muscle more than once per week, you're going to see more optimal results, right? So by hitting a muscle twice per week, you see roughly 1.5 times the amount of results as you do if you just hit a muscle once per week. So now we move into push-pull legs, which just allows us to hit all of our muscle groups twice per week. It's why it's one of the most popular workout splits there are, and one of the most popular bodybuilding splits that there are. So we'll do Monday will be a push day. On that day, you'll be doing an incline barbell press, flat barbell press, machine pec deck, tricep push downs, cable overhead tricep extensions, dumbbell skull crushers, and then you work your abs on Monday and get some weighted cable ab crunches in. And then 30 minutes cardio after lifting, but optimally you would do 30 minutes cardio in the morning and you would wait 6 to 8 hours and then lift. That's optimal, right? Optimal is getting up, getting cardio in first thing in the morning, going to work, whatever you need to do, going through most of your day, and then in the evening time, after dinner, going to work out. And dinner being your pre-workout meal, pretty much. Tuesday is going to be a pull day, right? So on a pull day, we're going to do supported T-bar rolls, cable lat pull downs, cable seated rows, barbell curls, barbell preacher curls, dumbbell hammer curls, and then 30 minutes of cardio. Again, either after your workout or in the morning as soon as you wake up. 6 to 8 hours in between your workout. If you do cardio first, you need to wait 6 to 8 hours before you do your lifting. If you do your lifting first, you can do your cardio immediately after lifting. That's fine. It really doesn't matter. But you have to either do your lifting first, then your cardio immediately after, or cardio early in the morning, lifting in the evening. which is suggested. And then Wednesday is going to be your leg day. So in your leg day, you're going to have your calf press, your leg press, leg curls, leg extensions, hip thrust, and then forearm curls. It's going to be good that you go ahead and just start working on your forearms. Eventually, you're not going to have to work on your forearms. It's going to be one of those body parts that kind of maintains itself because you work it every single time you lift any weight at all. So eventually, it will be something that you can remove from your routine when they get to the size that you want them to be, or do you think they're starting to get too big for your physique, right? You get to make that decision. Now, Thursday would be a rest day, and on rest days, you still have to do your cardio, yes. So get on up and go do your 30 minutes of cardio on Thursday. And then Friday, we're going to get back into it again with a push day. And it's incline dumbbell press, flat dumbbell press, dumbbell flies, and then dumbbell tricep extension, dumbbell tricep skull crushers, dumbbell kickbacks, and cable ab crunches. Now, and then your 30 minutes cardio. Now, the reason we were doing mainly barbell and cable work on Monday, and then we moved to dumbbell work on Fridays because we want to train our supporting muscles, whether that be auxiliary muscles that are helping us with a lift, or it's other muscles that are utilized when performing a lift. Like, for example, when you're performing a bench press, your triceps are working, right? So we want to put a little bit more stress on those on the Friday workout than we did on the Monday workout, but we also want to stress those in the Monday workout too, because we want to build that up. And that's one of the goals of this routine, is to build up the strength of our auxiliary muscles that help us do these movements, right? So then Saturday, that is going to be a pull day. So barbell Smith machine, bent over rows, whichever you prefer, cable rows, cable lat pull downs, and then dumbbell curls, dumbbell preacher curls, and cable rope hammer curls. And it's the same principle for the reasons we're doing a little more dumbbell work, a little bit more, a little less cable work on those 2 days, right? So same principle. And then Sunday, we are going to do leg day, and we're doing Smith machine calf press, Smith machine squats, leg curls, leg extensions, hack squats, and forearm curls. And the reason you're doing Smith machine calf press is because straight-legged calf press provides the most stimulation and growth out of any other calf press. So that is that best goat of the calf presses to do to get your calves as big as what you possibly can. And then the Smith machine squats are important because while it allows you to take a little of the intensity off of your core, you're still building your legs very well, right? And you're still working your adductors, abductors, your quads, your glutes. You're still getting a full leg workout with the Smith machine squat. So that is the reason there. And then you get your leg curls, your leg extensions, and your hack squats to really, the hack squats is to at the end, to dominate your quads and just really kind of destroy your quads as much as possible. We just really want to come out of this workout with our quads being absolutely fatigued. And then, you know, as I said, 30 minutes of cardio after the workout, and that's a pain in the ass on leg day. If you have a good leg day and you do 30 minutes of cardio right after, it can be done, but it's not easy. And sometimes you got to wait 20, 30 minutes before you do that 30 minutes of cardio just so you can let your muscles get the glycogen back in it that they need so that you can do it. So I really highly recommend cardio in the morning on leg day. I highly recommend cardio in the morning on leg day. And remember, you can do anything you want for cardio, right? You don't have to ride a bike. You don't have to walk a treadmill. You can literally do anything you want for cardio. Basketball, take a walk, ride a bike, whatever it is. As long as your heart rate's above 110 beats per minute, you can do whatever you want. Now, here's the thing. I like to keep my heart rate up above 120 beats per minute. So to do that, for me personally, it's best to do the treadmill because I can set the incline at where I want to set it. Right now, for me, it's at 13. And then I can set the speed where I want to set it. Right now, for me, it's a 3.1. So I'll do 3.1, 13, and then I'll walk that treadmill. And the nice thing about that is that I know my heart rate is going to be within the range that I want it to be at through the entire workout. So that's something that I want y'all to think about whenever you're doing your cardio is, you know, where do you want it to be, right? And, you know, if you're doing everything else right, you should be on track. Now, the last thing I would like to talk about is in additional recommendations. We did talk about taking the Turkish stone and the aldosterone and having a pill every morning, and then I suggest to add a nightly pill in. So it would be a pill with your vitamins in the morning and a pill with your vitamins at night for each, the Turkish stone and the aldosterone. And do only 2 pills per day. And then in your next cycle, if you really wanted to, you can increase by 1 more pill per day at lunchtime if you want to. That's absolute max dose that I found. And yeah, so if you're still having high blood pressure, cholesterol issues, again, the hibiscus tea, the beetroot powder, beet juice are the 3 things that's really going to help with that. At this point, if you've been working out the entire time and you've lost a significant amount of weight, you might want to start taking your blood pressure, and if it starts to read in the normal range and you have been using those, start to wean off of them. I know it was about this point that I was able to completely come off of the hibiscus tea and the beetroot. So it's very doable soon for you. You'll be able to come off of that. And then pre-workout, take it if you want, don't if you don't. If you want a non-stim, that's great. Gives you a great pump, get a good look whenever you're done. You can really see your veins, everything, or you can get a stimulant and it'll help you with your focus and intensity throughout your exercises. So it's just really up to you on the pre-workout and what you want to do there. So anyway, that is, I just want to say, make sure I didn't miss anything. Thank you for sitting through my, probably not my best TED Talk in the world. I think there was enough filler uhs and ums and so on and so forth throughout the conversation, and I'm working on that, and I just think that's something that gets better over time. But look, here's the thing. You just got to get out there and dominate. And if you're doing this workout, if you're doing this routine, you're going and you stick to it, you focus on it, and you do it the way that it's written, you're going to see results. You're absolutely going to see results. And this is basically the exact same routine that I did, except for I tweaked it a little bit, where I made some mistakes and found some gaps and things through trial and error that you don't have to do, right? And so that's the benefit of utilizing this. So go on out there, dominate inside and outside of the gym, right? Dominate your nutrition. Dominate every lift. Dominate your cardio. But dominate being a dad. Dominate being a kid. Dominate being a son. Dominate it. Everything you do in life. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.